Hi, everyone. This is Scott Nybach for Dynamite Entertainment. And the wait is nearly over. This Wednesday, May 1st, Space Ghost #1 hits the stores. And I'm here with the series author, David Pepose, to talk about this hotly anticipated launch. David, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Scott, thank you so much for having me. Thank you for taking the time. And yeah, I'm excited to talk about all things Space Ghost with you.
Excellent, excellent. To start out, we've been showing off some of the interior art pages for the first issue for a couple of weeks now, but they haven't been lettered and they've been missing things like sound effects and stuff. So now that it's done, how does the final finished product look? It's about to hit stores.
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited. It's so fun because when you are putting a book together like this, you write out a script and you ultimately hope for the best, and then you see Jonathan Lau bringing in his amazing inks, and you say, okay, this is looking pretty sharp. And then Andrew Dahlhaus adds on his colors, and you're like, whoa, this just raised the bar significantly. And then Taylor Esposito putting all the lettering down, and you see, oh, the story, it comes together. And I think that's a part of the comics creation process is you're kind of holding your breath each step of the way. And it's when the final lettering comes on that the whole story really clicks together, and you really feel like it's greater than the sum of its parts. So I'm super excited with how Space Ghost #1 has come together, and I think when people see it, they'll see those preview pages looked amazing, but when they see the whole story, they're really going to see that there's something really fun and special in store for them.
Excellent. And I think like by now everyone already knows that this new title is going to have a different tone from the original cartoon show and from Adult Swim's like Space Ghost
Yeah.
Coast to Coast. But it's also not going to be like a paint by numbers grim and gritty reboot.
Right.
How would you describe the feel of the series for
Yeah.
potential buyers?
I the way that I've described our book is it's kind of equal parts Batman, The Long Halloween, and The Mandalorian. Sort of tonally in that kind of long Halloween space. And I think for us, we wanted to do something new. We wanted to do something original. I think Space Ghost is ultimately a product of his time. Every time that he's appeared from the 1966 Hanna-Barbera cartoon, channeling the DNA of Adam West's Batman to the Space Ghost Coast to Coast, which kind of channeled the irony of the MTV generation, or even the 2005 Joe Kelly series, which came right ahead of Batman Begins. You could feel that in the zeitgeist. And so for us, the directive that I had was I wanted to make sure that we told a story that felt like Space Ghost using the storytelling techniques of 2024. And so for me, it was really how do we kind of take these characters seriously, treat them with all the love and respect that they deserve, and then trying to find new ways to kind of like delve deeper into their characterization. The original Hanna Barbera cartoon, those were only 5 minute episodes a pop. And so that leaves a whole universe to explore and really kind of being able to dig into these characters and follow their trajectory over the course of our series.
Nice. Yeah, and like going even a little deeper on this subject. In the original cartoon was obviously aimed at children and Coast to Coast
Yeah.
appealed to the young adult crowd. But having read the first issue, I think this new series will have a much broader appeal from the younger teens, like right up to old timers like myself. What do you think the key is to making a story like this resonate with the wider audience?
Yeah, I think it's a matter of not talking down to the readers
Mm.
and also trusting your readers' intelligence. And I think for me, the thing that was really exciting was that Jan and Jace are our point of view characters for the book. And I think something that's a misconception about those characters is that they're seen as ornamental or they're seen as hostages. And something that was really important to me was to treat them as fully three-dimensional characters with agency and competency. And sort of that's the thing that I really like about this book is that all the characters are competent. They're all kind of pitching in and helping each other out. But yeah, I think just treating the characters, not feeling like you have to dumb anything down, not feeling like you have to keep things super broad, but instead kind of making more specific choices with each of the characters. Because I think the more specific you go with the characters, the more universal they become. So yeah, I feel like for me, it's just I think it's Space Ghost sort of coming into his own in a way that he's in a way that's long overdue. I think this is a character that has all the building blocks of an A-lister, and I think presenting it as such, I think readers are going to be really blown away by this diamond in the rough.
Excellent. And so, yeah, and speaking of characterizations, we all know that the great heroes are defined by their villains, and Space Ghost has an amazingly enduring rogues gallery.
Yes.
Can you talk a bit about who's debuting in issue #1 that's coming out this Wednesday, and also
Yeah.
how you're going to be tackling iconic antagonists like Zorak and the Widow and the Council of Doom in upcoming issues?
Yes, I'm very excited because we're showing a handful of Space Ghost villains. You see in our preview pages that we've got Tanzit and Brago and Lurker and One Eye as our interstellar space pirates, because they Alex Toth, he was throwing fastball after fastball in the original Hanna-Barbera cartoon, and just the sheer strength of his designs made a lot of these villains endure. But I'm very excited for Brack and Sisto to be showing up as sort of the core villains of our first issue. We've got a really fun twist involving them that I think speaks to Brack's kind of more blue collar opportunistic streak, but I think also answers a core question of Space Ghost and Jan and Jace's dynamic moving forward. So I'm very excited to be writing them. I thought it was very appropriate to have them be our first villains as sort of Space Ghost's brother, two brothers as villains. I thought having Jan and Jace as our point of view characters, having them fight off a pair of evil siblings, I felt like it was too good of a chance to pass up for our first issue. And writing Brack and Sisto, they're a lot of fun. I was really trying to lean into kind of the blue collar voice for them, and they were just a real treat to write. And so I can't wait for people to see what we got in store for them.
Excellent. And as we're wrapping up now, though, is there anything else that you wanted to let everyone know about the issue that's coming out?
Absolutely. Well, this is very much. I think this is half epic sci-fi superhero story and also a coming of age story. And I think the thing that I'm most excited about with this series is not only being able to kind of refresh so many of these amazing Alex Toth villains like Zorak, like the Widow, like the Council of Doom, but also to really follow Space Ghost and Jan and Jace on their ongoing trajectory together as they go from being orphan rescues to becoming trusted sidekicks to becoming a found family in their own right. These are all characters that have started in tragedy, but coming together, they really do rise above it in a really, I think, heartfelt and exciting way. This is everything that I want out of a superhero book, and everything I've heard everyone else wants out of a superhero book. There's no continuity you have to follow. It's done in one adventures. It's character driven. It's action packed. It's epic in scale, but also heartfelt in terms of characterization. Yes, it's everything I want in a superhero book, and I think it's everything you might want too. So definitely pick up Space Ghost #1 at your local comic shop this Wednesday, May 1st. There's going to be a lot to like, and I can't wait for you to see where we're headed next.
It sounds great. I'm looking forward to it. David, thanks for coming on and giving us the inside scoop on the launch of Space Ghost #1 from Dynamite Entertainment. Like you said, look for it this Wednesday, May 1st at comic stores everywhere. Thanks again, David.
Thank you.